Okay, let's talk about one of the most frustrating feelings in the world. I'm talking about the 8-hour paradox. You do everything by the book, you get your full 8 hours, but you still wake up feeling like you've barely slept at all. In this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly why that happens.
Does this sound familiar? You go to bed on time, you hit that magic 8-hour number, but the second your alarm goes off, bam, you feel groggy, you feel drained, you feel completely unrested. It's the kind of feeling that can just totally derail your day before it even gets started.
If you're sitting there nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. This is an incredibly common problem. And the best part, there are actual, clear, scientific reasons why it happens. So let's dive in and figure this out together.
And that brings us to the single most important idea we're going to talk about today. We have to completely reframe how we think about our rest. It's time to stop just counting the hours and start paying attention to the quality, to the secret life of your sleep.
For way too long, we've been totally obsessed with the myth of quantity, just clocking in 8 hours in bed. But the reality, the thing that actually matters, is quality. And what does that mean? It means moving through your sleep cycles without interruption. It means spending enough time in those super important deep and REM stages of sleep. That's where the real restoration happens. Deep sleep is for repairing your body, and REM sleep is for your brain. So the real goal isn't just getting enough sleep. It's waking up feeling genuinely refreshed.
Here's a great way to think about it. Your brain is kind of like your smartphone. If you plug it in for 8 hours, but the cable is faulty and keeps disconnecting and reconnecting all night long, what happens? You wake up and your phone's only at like 30%. Your brain is the exact same way. Every little interruption, even the ones you don't notice, just kills the charge.
So what's causing all these little disconnections while we sleep? Well, let's pull back the curtain and meet the usual suspects, the culprits that are sabotaging our rest.
The fancy scientific name for this problem is sleep fragmentation. Basically, it's when you have these tiny, super brief awakenings all night long. They're called micro-arousals. And here's the crazy part. You almost never remember them happening. But each one is just powerful enough to yank you out of that deep restorative sleep, forcing your brain to hit the reset button on the whole cycle.
So, who are these common offenders? Well, number one is that late-night doom scrolling on your phone. That blue light is literally tricking your brain into thinking it's still daytime. Then there's that afternoon coffee. Yeah, the stimulating effects of caffeine can stick around for hours. Of course, there's stress and anxiety, which keeps your whole body on high alert. And a regular sleep schedule. That just throws your internal body clock into total chaos. And this one's tricky. That glass of wine that feels like it helps you unwind, it actually messes up your sleep big time later in the night.
Let me just paint you a quick picture of how this all plays out. So it's 11 p.m., you finally fall asleep after scrolling on your phone. Then, around 1 a.m., a little spike in stress hormones wakes you up for just a second. You don't remember it, but boom, you're back in light sleep. By 4 a.m., your body is still trying and failing to get back into that deep REM sleep it desperately needs. So when that alarm blares at 7 a.m., sure, you've been in bed for 8 hours, but you've completely missed out on the whole point of being there.
Okay, so now that we get the problem, it's time to talk solutions. This is the part where we shift gears and you become your own sleep detective to figure out what's really going on.
So just take a second. Be really honest with yourself. What did that last hour before you went to bed last night actually look like? Were any of those saboteurs we just talked about there? The phone, a late snack, a stressful work email? And this is absolutely crucial. You just can't fix a problem until you know what's causing it. So becoming your own sleep detective really is the most powerful first step you can take. All right, detective, you've got some potential suspects in mind. Now, let's get practical. Let's talk about an actionable checklist you can use to start reclaiming your rest, like tonight.
Here it is, your new toolkit. First up, the digital sunset. That means all screens, phone, TV, tablet, are off at least 60 minutes before you plan to sleep. No cheating. Second, the caffeine curfew. Try to have no coffee, tea, anything with caffeine after 2 p.m. Third, turn your bedroom into a sleep sanctuary. Think cool, dark, and quiet. And finally, create a wind-down ritual. This is your way of telling your body, hey, it's time to power down. Read a real book, do some light stretching, maybe listen to some calm music.
And listen, please remember, this is not about being perfect. The last thing any of us need is another thing to be stressed out about. The goal isn't perfect sleep, it's just better sleep. Focus on making small, consistent changes. That's what adds up to a huge difference over time.
So I'll leave you with this question. Looking back at that checklist, what is the one single thing, just one, that's messing with your sleep that you can commit to changing starting tonight?
Pick one, give it a shot, and see what a difference real quality sleep can actually make.